Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're diving into the absolute nuts and bolts of Agile development. We are going to decode 15 core Agile metrics and, along the way, build a comprehensive dashboard to completely fuel your team's continuous improvement. Look, if you work in Agile, you already know that keeping everything perfectly on track can, well, sometimes feel a bit overwhelming. But by isolating just the right data points, you can literally transform that chaos into total clarity. Let's get right into it.
To really wrap our heads around how these metrics play together, I want you to think of Agile development like a massive, high-speed train, right? It relies on constant forward momentum, perfectly clear tracks, and relentless monitoring from the conductor just to safely reach its destination. In our world, that momentum is iterative development, those tracks are cleared by customer collaboration, and the monitoring, well, that's exactly what our metrics dashboard is built for.
So, to avoid drowning in a sea of data, we're organizing these 15 crucial metrics into 4 easy-to-read dials on our dashboard. We've got tracking sprint progress, optimizing the workflow, measuring value and quality, and finally, driving continuous improvement.
Let's spin up that first dial, tracking sprint progress, taking us from micro to macro visibility. This section of the dashboard answers the ultimate question. Are we actually on pace to hit our immediate and long-term goals? And to figure that out, we need 2 distinct lenses, the micro and the macro. First up, the sprint burndown chart. This is your micro-level view. It visually tracks your remaining work over time for those immediate sprint goals, which is super helpful for spotting blockages right away. But you can't just stare at the 2 feet of track right in front of you. You need the epic and release burndown to provide that crucial macro-level portfolio view. That's what shows you the high-level progress towards your much bigger project objectives.
Moving right along, we have a metric I am sure you're very familiar with: velocity. Simply put, this measures the amount of work your team can consistently deliver in a single sprint. By looking back at your team's historical velocity, you can actually predict your future work capacity with a lot of confidence. Basically, it takes all the guesswork out of your backlog refinement and lets you accurately estimate capacity during your sprint planning.
Okay, so tracking burndowns and velocity gives us our baseline speed. But that brings us to a pretty critical question. Are we actually moving efficiently, or are we secretly stuck on the tracks?
Which brings us to dial number 2, optimizing the workflow, where we identify and clear out those bottlenecks. This is where we stop just glancing at the speedometer and really look under the hood. Let's visualize a single work item's journey through your system. In step 1, the exact moment an item is requested, the clock immediately starts on your lead time. This evaluates your overall process efficiency from that initial request all the way to delivery. Then, in step 2, while the work is actively in progress, we track the work item age. This targets the exact time spent in each specific process stage, which is honestly amazing for pinpointing where things are stalling. And finally, in step 3, when the item is done, it adds to your throughput.
Now, we really need to pause and understand the difference between velocity and throughput. It is absolutely vital not to mix these two up. Velocity predicts your future capacity for planning based on your team's historical consistency. Throughput, though, that simply measures the raw average number of items your team is actually completing per unit of time right now. Think of it like this. Velocity is all about planning for tomorrow. Throughput is about evaluating your real-time productivity and finding constraints today.
To actively monitor all of that workflow, we rely on 2 super powerful visualizers. First up is the cumulative flow diagram, or CFD. Think of it like a live traffic map for your workflow. It lets you instantly spot exactly where work is piling up so you can optimize the flow and slash that lead time we just talked about. Second is the control chart. This one monitors your process variation over time. If your cycle times are jumping all over the place, the control chart is going to show you, which really helps you dial in your consistency and predictability.
But hey, what if the train just stops entirely? That is exactly where block time comes to the rescue. This metric flags exactly how much time is being wasted waiting for external dependencies to clear. By tracking block time, you can instantly flag those external roadblocks and get straight to work clearing the tracks. It's a huge win for increasing your team's overall productivity.
Fine-tuning the engine and clearing the tracks is fantastic, no doubt. But it begs a really fundamental question. Sure, we're moving fast and yeah, we're highly efficient, but are we actually building the right thing? Because let's be real, going fast doesn't mean a thing if your destination is completely wrong.
That brings us to our third dial, measuring value and quality. It's all about prioritizing outcomes over mere output. To ensure our incredible speed actually translates into real-world satisfaction, our cornerstone metric here is value delivered. This objectively quantifies the actual impact of your work. So, instead of just throwing a party because a feature shipped, this metric measures its true monetary or business value. It literally forces the entire team to align their daily development grind directly with core business objectives.
And listen, you really can't talk about business value without talking about the customer, right? Pairing your business value with your Net Promoter Score, or NPS, gives you direct, unfiltered feedback. NPS measures customer satisfaction and loyalty by asking one simple thing: how likely are they to recommend your product? Because again, high velocity is absolutely useless if your NPS is tanking.
Of course, delivering real value also means safeguarding against failure. First, we have to monitor escaped defects. These are those dreaded errors that somehow sneak all the way into production. Tracking this assesses how effective your quality assurance really is and helps you hunt down the root causes of those bugs. Alongside that, we track failed deployments, which point to issues in your actual deployment process. By keeping an eye on this, you improve release reliability, cut down on downtime, and make sure your awesome delivery speed isn't being ruined by a sloppy release.
To finish off this dial, we need to take a deep look at code health. Code coverage assesses the exact percentage of your code that's actually being executed by unit tests. It's an absolute lifesaver for spotting testing gaps and bumping up your overall code reliability. And to partner with that, we use quality intelligence. This provides proactive insights that identify potential code issues before they ever have a chance to derail the project. It's a massive boost to your overall development efficiency.
And finally, dial number 4, driving continuous improvement, which is really the ultimate Agile goal.
Look, gathering all this data is completely pointless if you aren't going to use it to actually change how you work. By actively analyzing these 15 metrics, organizations can fundamentally transform their operations. You finally get to stop guessing. You move away from relying on gut feelings and start making objective, data-driven decisions. This directly enhances your overall product quality, causes your customer satisfaction to spike, and guarantees you are consistently hitting those core business objectives. You're not just running a standard process anymore, you are fine-tuning a high-performance machine.
So as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a quick thought to ponder. Take a hard look at your own team's processes. Look at your own track and your own momentum. Which dial on your Agile dashboard needs an immediate adjustment today to keep your train perfectly on track? Dive into your data,